Hello, my name's Simon Bedford and I'm an International Trade Advisor with the Department for International Trade. I'm here today to talk to you about exporting and why now is a really good time to start. If we begin with a question then, what percentage of world GDP do you think the UK represents? 3%, 8%, 15%? Most economic experts suggest it's just below 4%. So if you're not involved in international markets, you're really missing out on 96% of world opportunities. There are lots of benefits of starting to export: access to more customers, perhaps better margins, less competition, perhaps somewhere to sell excess demand, and evening out seasonal variations, selling in the southern hemisphere when it's summer there and winter here. People are worried about barriers. They talk about the risks: currency, documentation, regulations. But really, if you understand your business and you're driving that forward, you can get a network around you to take care of all the other problems. An important part of your network is the Department for International Trade and all the access and resources we have at our disposal. Another great benefit is, to be honest, exporting is just more exciting. Selling in Singapore rather than Solihull, getting phone calls and emails from Cape Town rather than Croydon. So lots of opportunities and more exciting for the business. And a last thought, now is a really good time to start. We're in lockdown or semi-lockdown, but you don't have to be jumping on planes. More and more customers around the world are, like us, used to using Zoom, WhatsApp, Microsoft Teams, so it's very easy and understandable that we just sit at home in our offices and connect with the world. So it's very much cheaper than it used to be, and this is the way business is being done today. So what are the steps you can take to get started? Well, first of all, assessing your own readiness in terms of resourcing and people to get started. Searching for advice. Certainly perhaps talking to an international trade advisor like myself, and we're all part of an unofficial export club. We can direct you to companies that have been there and done it before you. Have a look at our great portal, great.gov.uk. There's lots of useful information on there, set out in 9 different sections. So creating an export plan, managing payments, routes to market. And if you've got services, selling services overseas is another section we've added recently. Think about some market research to identify markets and potential customers. Think about developing an export business plan. And in terms of planning, this could run to many pages, but keeping it simple is always the best way. And if we think about some key questions we can ask ourselves. So where are we now? Our success versus our expectations. Where did we get there? What significant events came along the road to get us to where we are today? Where are we headed? The future with no changes. We can almost predict in the next 1 year, 3 years, 5 years where we'll be if we don't make any changes. If we don't, for example, develop our export business. Where would we like to be? So looking back in 5 years' time, what are our aspirations? How do we know when we've got there? We probably need to have some options, a plan A, a plan B, a plan C. And we might need to also modify our plan occasionally because there will be incidents outside our control that come along, government changes in regulations that require us to slightly modify our plan. So get a good export plan, and you can run this by one of our international trade advisors if you want any second opinions. So what support is available through the Department for International Trade? Well, we're a worldwide organisation. If you look at the world map, we're in about 110 countries, over 175 locations around the world with our British embassies, high commissions, consulates, British trade offices. We have all the commercial staff in all these teams available to support you, and also through the British chambers of commerce we've set up around the world. So we have a lot of people on the ground to support you as you develop your export business. If we think more recently what's been done, there's been government announcement, an export growth plan to support SMEs, small and medium-sized companies. This will mean more international trade advisors like myself on the ground. There's international funding, if you're eligible, to give you funding support to develop your international business. And also what's been announced is the Export Academy. And the Export Academy will provide you with a series of webinars on the type of topics we think are important for you to know about. And you can go online, you can listen to these, you can get help from trade advisors that will talk you through all the essential steps. So more information shortly about the Export Academy will give you the access to join this. So as we reach the end of the EU transition period, what steps do you really need to take? Well, if there's any information you feel you need, do have a look at gov.uk and in the search bar there put in the concerns you have or the questions you need answering. There's a huge amount of information on gov.uk. We've started to run webinars on EU transition. There was one last week and there's another one planned. By all means, go on to the webinar if you have the time. But if you haven't, talk to one of your international trade advisors, because we can send you a recording and we can send you the slides so you can view it at your leisure. An online survey you might want to take for your business to check how to get ready for new rules in 2021. 4 crucial steps really. Ensure your company is registered for both imports and exports, ensuring that you've got a UK EORI number. Make sure the classification of your goods, the tariff and commodity codes are correct. Be ready for the new customs paperwork and check the new UK tariff for imported goods. This has changed and will change from the 1st of January 21. So do check this out. So in summary, we've discussed 4 steps: the benefits of exporting, the steps you can take to get started, the support available from the Department for International Trade, and some actions around EU transition. So good luck, and I'm sure you'll be very successful on your export journey, opening up new markets and developing new business.
Agricultural technology, or Agri-Tech, is the application of technology to produce more with less, to make the farming process more efficient, from field monitoring to the food supply chain itself. When we think of Agri-Tech, many people think of artificial intelligence, robotics, or genetics, but the Agri-Tech sector also includes much simpler things, such as tractors, combine harvesters, or milking machines. The truth is that the more advanced technologies are the one fueling the so-called fourth agricultural revolution. Agri-Tech is divided into 4 main subsectors. Those are plant science, animal science, precision agriculture, and aquaculture. The technology and applications used in Agri-Tech are cross-industry. Just to name a few, we have drone technology, the Internet of Things, data analytics, precision agriculture, nanotechnology, artificial intelligence, food sharing and crowd farming, blockchains, and also robotics. Farming involves the use of wireless technologies, GPS positioning, and lasers to be more efficient. But tomorrow's farmers will be taking agriculture technology a bit farther by using big data, robots, drones, and many other technological wonders. By 2050, our planet will have 9 billion people who will be consuming an ever-increasing quantity of food. If agriculture is to continue to feed the world, it needs to become more like manufacturing. And that is already beginning to happen. And now farms are becoming more like factories, having tightly controlled operations for turning out reliable products, immune as far as possible from what is called the vagaries of nature. Thanks to better understanding of DNA, the plants and animals raised on farms are also tightly controlled. Such technological changes in hardware, software, and liveware are reaching beyond our imagination. Precision Agri-Tech is the use of information technology and electronic devices that really allows farmers to understand the potential and make more measurements to really unlock the potential of production, whether it be livestock-based or arable-based in cropping situations. Other innovative agri-tech techniques include hydroponics. This is the cultivation method that leaves behind soil in favor of mineral nutrients in a water-based solution, which provides an alternative in locations where growing conditions are more difficult. This method is often included in vertical farming, a way of growing crops vertically stocked to optimize space and in a controlled environment. Robotics also provide a peek into a future of precision agriculture, where berries are picked by robots and the humidity of soil is monitored to eliminate the possibility of wasting water. Robots are being developed that can treat crops in ways that do not require pesticides. This means that machines can find weed spots and use a hole to remove the weed instead of having to spray the fields with pesticides. This means that robots can be used to increase the sustainability of agriculture and address issues such as shortages of manual labor. Also, machine learning and artificial intelligence are also the heart of what is ahead in the agri-tech world. They will not only allow robots and sensors to keep track of soil's quality and water levels to optimize production, but they can also link the blockchain technology to help food become more traceable, and therefore reduce waste. Blockchain technology has the potential to what I call democratize food, to enable better choice, given how it can inform a consumer of the origin of the food, explain how it was created, and give information about its carbon footprint, while the Internet of Things can be used to track data. How can the world be fed in future without putting irreparable strain on the earth, soils, and oceans? According to the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization, between now and 2050, the planet's population is likely to rise to 9.7 billion from 7.3 billion that we are right now. Those people will not only need to eat, they will want to eat better than people do now, because by then most are likely to have middling incomes and many will be well off. Then the food production will have to rise by 70% to meet projected demand. The UK agri-tech environment is really built on British great agricultural heritage. The agricultural revolution happened a long time before the Industrial Revolution, and we continue as a country to develop as a leading agricultural producer. You combine that with outstanding research and development, great technical advances, and we are really making progress on some of the key challenges of the world faces today, feeding the planet and not doing any further damage to the environment. There are three great things about UK and Agri-Tech. The first is that we got world-class science. Some of the best universities in the world, like Cambridge, Oxford, and York, are doing cutting-edge work in Agri-Tech. The second is that we have got a fully integrated food supply chain, right from primary producers through the manufacturers through to retailers. It's all joined up. It's a great place to do business. And the third is we got a very dynamic center of business, gateway to the world. And that's why the UK is a great place to work.